Hello, Facebook Live. Marcus here. What's happening, everybody? Been a super busy day. As you can see, I have my chef coat on. I've been cooking all morning in the kitchen. We were doing a bunch of meals for the local hospital. Tomorrow we're doing meals for a hospital in Poughkeepsie. So we're cooking all morning. Now we're packing a bunch of groceries. Deliveries have been coming in all morning. We had 18 cases of new wine come in today. A lot of it's already sold. People are loving our wine selections and they're loving the prices. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about that, because you can literally buy a case of wine from us. You can just buy some food. You can literally buy a case of wine from us. You can buy 15 margaritas if you wanted to, like pre-made margaritas, mojitos. The liquor laws have changed to allow us to sell to you now. Previous to this, you could only buy bottles of wine, bottles of spirits in an official wine or liquor shop. Since the whole thing has gone down in the beginning of March, they've laxed up the restrictions and they've allowed us to sell. And we're selling a lot. Last week, I think we pulled in 30 cases, 40. The one delivery driver goes, Marcus, I've never seen you guys get this much wine. Last week, the one delivery alone was 30 cases of wine. And most of that is already gone. Like I said, 17, 18 cases came in today. I want to talk about one of the biggest trends in the wine and spirit world. It's in this bottle here. I want to talk about this trend that's been happening for a while. We experienced it when we go to Italy and when we went to Spain. It was very predominant. So I'm going to talk about that. First off, today's International Nurses Day. International Nurses Day is today, so we're offering all of our cocktails half price to anybody in the nursing profession. Half price today, of course, it's takeout. We can't seat you here. We'd love to seat you here. A lot of people this weekend asked, can I just sit down? I just want to sit down in your booth. I just want to sit down and eat. A lot of people asked this weekend, especially on Mother's Day. And unfortunately, we still can't do that. But there are tables outside in the parking lot, and there's benches outside. There's things. There's a lot of people sit in their cars outside because we blast music into the parking lot. So, sure.
Rice. Is there more rice?
There's rice downstairs underneath the table. We're literally packing up bags of flour. We packaged up salt today. We're bagging up our rice. You can buy our rice, our 4-grain organic blended rices. You can buy those for home and cook those at home. At a really good price, you can buy those. All organic, Lundberg, amazing stuff. Organic short grain brown, short grain jasmine, short grain basmati, and red wahani rice, all mixed together and available for you to cook at home. They come in 3-pound bags. They're $12.99, I think, $11.99, something like that. We have so many things and keeping up with so many prices that it's hard for me to keep up. But back to the liquor I was talking about. So we can sell you all kinds of stuff. So if you want to come in and buy a pizza and get a few bottles of wine, a case of wine, we can totally do that, and we are doing that, and it's been very successful. We don't have all the wine that's sitting here. We have lots of wine. All the wine that's sitting here, the 15 cases of new wine, all this wine here, all that wine there, and over here, all this new wine, and we put some wine in the basement. None of the wine is over $19.99 a bottle. It is all between $9.99, $12.99, $14.99. Those are our price points. There might be a little bit over. There might be 1 or 2 bottles. That's it. The majority, 90% of the wine we're selling right now is $15 or less a bottle. Amazing wine, wineries that we've actually been to, that we put, that we know the owners. All of the wine that came in today, we actually know the owners. All this Italian wine that came in today, 17, 18 cases of wine. We know the owners. We've been to the vineyards. In fact, I was just messaging one of the family members, from one of the wineries that we do business with, a lot of business with, Cottarella, Valesco. I was just messaging the son-in-law because I wanted to set up a virtual Facebook Live tour, so he's going to get back to me, and maybe we can set up something like that, where we can show you this vineyard in Italy that is just amazing, hour and a half north of Rome. It is just dynamite. So phones are ringing off the hook here. Another delivery is coming in, so I have to cut this. I have to make this not as long as I normally do. If you're watching live, drop a comment, #live. If it's on the replay, #replay. Tonight is $9.99 Jamaican jerk chicken and $19.99 tuna. Our tuna entree is $19.99 tonight. Our Jamaican jerk is $9.99 tonight. Those are our 2 daily specials. And for nurses, half off of all cocktails, half price on all cocktails. So The biggest trend, one of the biggest trends in the wine and spirit industry, folks, in the last, I've noticed this for the last 4 years, about 3 years, and it's really, really surfacing now. Jamie and I went to Spain a year and a half ago. In Spain, at all these small tapas bars and all these cool little towns that we went to, we did a big loop in Spain. We started in Madrid and drove up north, went to Rebel del Douro, Rioja, Navarra, we went across to Zaragoza, all the way to Barcelona, and down the coast all the way to Valencia and back up to Madrid. We covered a lot of ground in 14 days, however long we went. It was amazing. The biggest trend there in every single bar we went to had vermouth on tap. And most Americans have never had a glass of vermouth by itself, besides vermouth in a Manhattan or vermouth in a cocktail. Most people have never had vermouth by itself. Folks, vermouth by itself is amazing. I've been drinking vermouth by itself, just a couple of cubes on the rocks in a little like rocks glass. I've been drinking like that for 10 years, at least 10 years. The cool thing about 10 years now versus 10 years ago is everybody's getting on the bandwagon and making a really cool vermouth. Like amazing vermouth, like cool vermouths. There's vermouths coming out of California, out of Chicago, out of New York, Atsby, out of all throughout Europe that they're making insane. So one of the latest producers, one of the latest newer vermouths that we have, that just came in today, it's a newer vermouth because they just started making it. Poli, the Grappa people, in Bassano, they make Grand Bassano vermouth now. These are now in stock. These are going to be available by the glass here at the restaurant. And if you want a bottle of this, you can take a bottle. They're not cheap, but they are amazing. We'll taste you on these. So we have the white and the red, the dry and the sweet. It's not really sweet, but it's dry and sweet. The white is amazing by itself. Like I typically don't drink white vermouth by itself, but this white vermouth, this dry vermouth, is amazing by itself. Like mind blowing. I was so impressed with these. I've tasted these twice. Did a tasting in the spring with these, and then we had a sales rep come in and taste this recently on these, and I fell in love with these again. I'm like, I need these. So Poli is a distillery in Bassano. Bassano is a village, a city in northern Italy. I don't know, maybe it's an hour from the border, maybe an hour and a half from the Slovenian border, but it's up north, the northeastern part of Italy. Bassano is the grappa capital of the world because you have Nardini, which is an 8th generation since like 1790 or something. They've been making grappa at Nardini. Very, very famous grapperia. Antonio is a good friend of ours. And then right in the square there, like the square where just right off is Nardini. And in the square there is Poli. They have a distillery there as well. So that's why I say Bassano. Bassano's the village. Is the capital of grappa, the world capital of grappa. There's two amazing grappa producers there. Grappa is something that you need to make at a distillery that are made in distilleries only in Italy. A vineyard is not allowed to have a distillery on premises. So this is why you can't go into a vineyard in Italy and all of a sudden see them distilling things. It's a totally different license, totally different setup. They're not set up sort of like we are here. Sometimes you go to a winery here, they're making beer and they're making spirits because they can apply for multiple licenses. Italy, it's not like that. A distillery is a distillery, a winery is a winery. So all these wineries, after they press the grapes and they have the stems, the seeds, and the skins, need to get this off to a distillery. So it has to get shipped to a distillery. To make the grappa. So a lot of wineries, you'll see a lot of wineries in Tuscany, a lot of wineries all throughout Italy, they'll make a grappa. They'll have a grappa that's branded their grappa. But the grappa, they don't make it. They have to ship all of the pressings to a distillery. The neat thing about Bassano is Bassano is on the river. So it allows a quick transit of all the pressings after the grape. As soon as you start pressing the grapes, and you have the seeds left and the skins, you have all that, time is ticking. The quicker you get those pressings to the distillery, the higher quality grappa you're going to get. Now, grappa, if somebody's giving you grappa for free, there's probably a chance you shouldn't be drinking it. That's the grappa that you probably won't like. There's a lot of really awesome grappas that you're like, wow, I didn't know idea grappa was like this. The quicker the pressings get to the distillery, the higher the quality. That's the first thing, there's oxidation. So the way Bassano's positioned, it's on this river, And the vineyards in this valley basically just put everything on the ships for years. Nardini's been doing it since the late 1700s. They put the stuff on a boat, and it gets shipped right down to the distillery, quick transit time, and then they start pressing away. They start distilling away and making grappa. So that's the key to good grappa, is the time of the pressing to the time of the distilling. You have to shorten that time, and Bassano had that figured out with the way of the river. In fact, Nardini's original distillery is like 5 or 6 stories, and it's on the actual water. So you'd go downstairs and open up the door, and the boat was right there, and you bring the stuff in and bring it upstairs and start distilling the pressings. It was like that. The distillery was actually on the water. It's really cool. If you ever get to Bassano, let us know. We'll get you a tour with Nardini, especially. Poli's good. Poli's does fantastic grappas, and now their vermouth is amazing. Nardini also makes amazing grappas, and they make also other things like Amaro. Nardini's Amaro is one of my favorite Amaros. I'm not sure if they're making vermouth yet, but they do make a couple other things. Some liqueurs, some grappa liqueurs, some really good stuff. We can definitely get you an amazing tour at Nardini. We'll just message our friend Antonio. Antonio knows the Catskills. He has a very good friend of his, lives up in the Catskills here, and he does make a trip up here every now and then to the Catskills, Antonio Nardini. So, but we do see him in New York City every year, sometimes twice a year at tastings. He used to live here for 10 or 12 years. He lived in New York City, so he knows New York very, very well. That's his connections to the Catskills, Kerhonkson specifically. So, when you come in, whether you're coming in to pick something up to go or when we're back to normal, if anybody wants a taste of this, we'll get you a taste of this. This good vermouths are mind-blowing, and it changes everybody's perception. Every single person we've given vermouth to, they're like, I had no idea vermouth was like this. I had no idea you could drink vermouth by itself. I thought vermouth was like Martini Rossi or Noli Pra that you'd mix into something. No, folks, vermouth is designed to drink by itself, and all these craft distilleries are now producing some amazing vermouths. So definitely experiment and try these. Probably when you open these, you want to put them in the refrigerator. You don't want to keep these out on your countertop. You want to keep these in the refrigerator. It's fortified wine is what it is. It's a wine base that is fortified. So they add some booze into it, some alcohol, some spirits to bring up the alcohol and fortify it. And then they add a bunch of herbs, a bunch of aromatics, sort of like an Amaro, similar to an Amaro probably. I might even be in the same family as Amaro. So Poli is amazing, mind-blowing. Come in and try it. The bottles are for sale. I don't know what the bottles are. They're probably like $35 or so on the shelf here. Maybe even a little more, maybe almost 40. The stuff is mind-blowing though. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Jamie will be here in a little while, 4 o'clock with her happy hour live. And maybe we can talk her into making a cocktail with some of this. Definitely when you come in, try a sample. We'll be happy to sample you on it. I'd like to get back to accept our delivery, our big organic orders here, United Natural Foods. They just pulled in when I started this, and the guy, I see him out back. I'm stacking a bunch of boxes now. So I have to get that order in. Just came back is our Nutiva. Hopefully it's on this truck here. Nutiva, the organic quote-unquote Nutella, speaking of Italy, the organic version of Nutella, dairy-free, corn syrup-free, made from organic hazelnuts, organic cacao. Not on the truck? It's not on the truck again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, not in the truck. We ordered it. We ordered 3 cases. It's not here. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Catch Jamie at 4 o'clock. I'm going to head out for my run here pretty soon and enjoy the sun. No, I did not talk about Run Like the Wind. We'll talk about that later.
All right, perfect.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Talk to you later.